Mr. Producer, how can you go on the white pages and think you're getting Mike Tyson on the line? Mr. Producer, what is your explanation, Mr. Producer? Mr. Producer, you're talking to the great one.
Just cut me some slack.
All right, I'll cut you a little bit of slack.
Mistakes happen.
Mistakes do happen, but that was another big boo-boo.
You did a good job of, like I said, you did a good job. Both of you
speaking of Mark Levin, he made a statement yesterday that actually the president has the opportunity, if he wants to, if he believes that interstate commerce is being affected by specific states, he can come in and he can intervene. So if a couple of these states don't open their doors and it affects the general economy through interstate commerce on a national level, Donald Trump can come in and he can actually make some things happen with those states.
And on the other side of things, I'm wondering if Donald Trump would intervene if states open too early and the disease spreads fast and it turns out to be a very bad decision.
See, that's why he did what he did, because he's putting all of that blame now. He's transferred the blame. He shifted the blame onto the states themselves.
Well, he said he had
whether the disease spreads exponentially or whether your economy gets destroyed, which I thought was a very, very intelligent decision by Donald Trump.
Probably was an intelligent thing to say a few days ago when he said he had total control, and then a couple days later he walked back.
I think he was setting them up for that, because obviously he knew that he didn't have total control.
Or it could be also possible that he's a buffoon and he doesn't know the laws. That might also be possible.
I think he's been so successful as a president because the way that he does things, people just don't understand it. It's not like politicians in the past have operated, and it's really confused a lot of people.
All right. Well, as far as being so successful as a president, tell that to the 30,000 plus families that have lost loved ones due to the coronavirus. So I would disagree with you on that. Not a shocker. We disagree. I think the president is doing the opposite of doing a great job. And I think the things he says on a regular basis and the things he does, particularly even in these press conferences, is utter nonsense.
So what do you think about my China segment, Brian? What are your thoughts on the fact that there is the highest safety level lab is a 1 mile away from this wet market, and now what China has done, and the fact that they've shut off all communication coming out of, or all documents coming out of China in regards to research on this virus? Do you think that the virus was taken from a bat in that lab and it escaped and it infected the general public and it was covered up, or what do you think actually happened at this point?
I've been saying this for weeks now, and my opinion on China hasn't changed, and I'll tell you the exact same thing I've said on this show. There is no question. And by the way, I'm not going to get into a hypothetical of whether they did it on purpose or not, because we still don't know. But here's what we do know. I'm going to focus on what we know for sure, is that the Chinese government hid this underneath the rug. They hid it from not just the American people, but the world. They are murderers. These people in the Chinese government have blood on their hands. That's what we know. We also know that this absolutely 100% originated in China, or as Trump likes to call it, China.
Yeah.
And do we know whether it was in a lab or not? I'm going to wait on that until we get more information. But regardless of whether it was made in a lab or not and it was accidentally thrown out there, okay, that's not what I'm angry about. What I'm really angry about is the way the Chinese government has handled it.
And again, I'm not suggesting that it was actually bioengineered in a lab. I'm saying it was taken off of a bat. It was isolated, and so I'm not saying that the scientists actually created the virus. I'm saying the virus existed on this bat.
And here's a
tip. They found it. They took it off, and then somehow the virus got out.
And here's a tip to everyone around the world: stop eating bats and leave them alone. It's so stupid.
Or
stop it with the bats.
Or stop experimenting.
Right, exactly.
Or both. Stop serving bat soup, you nimrods. Anyway, time for me and JD finally agree on something. That's the first thing we agreed on today.
Yeah, we're like 1 of 15. We're agreeing on absolutely nothing these days, Brian.
It's like
nothing.
Stein.
I like it though. I prefer it.
It's like Stein at the free throw line, about 1 for 15. Anyway, Stein, why don't you tell us? You deserve that, by the way, with that Mike Tyson thing.
Do you granny free throws, Stein?
Not a good free throw shooter.
No, I'm just not good.
Not a good free throw shooter.
No, I do like the regular free throws. It's a lot of air balls. And,
that's fair.
Yeah. They called me the plumber in high school because all I did was drain threes.
I gotta say, we went to the court one time, and he's got a very sweet stroke.
All right, well, you have a very sweet stroke too when you're at home every night by yourself. Anyway, Stein, that was uncalled for.
The lowest form of humor.
It's time.
Filth.
But there was some truth to it. It was tongue in cheek.
100% truth. 100% truth. It's time now for our
hand and number
hate mail segment of the day. Mr. Stein, take it away.
End the Friday on a good note here with
by making fun of me,
hate
of
mail.
course. See how he says that? Let's end it on a good note by making fun of Brian.
First YouTube viewer writes, why does Brian always say he trusts the doctors and professionals, but when it comes to Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz, he calls them idiots? Perfect example of you being an idiot yourself. if you
Sure.
don't agree with Brian.
Sure. Here's the response to that. Tell me when the last time was that Dr. Phil actually practiced medicine. Dr. Phil is a TV talk show host and a celebrity. Tell me the last time Dr. Phil was in the front lines, in the hospitals. Tell me the last time Dr. Phil had to deal with infectious disease. Dr. Phil likes being called a doctor. He is no more than a TV host who hasn't practiced medicine in decades. So that is a ridiculous statement that you just made. By the way, that's a fact. Go ahead, Stein. Next.
Next comment. Yesterday, Brian turned 40. Today, he is like an angry, bitter senior citizen.
No, that's very different. That's obviously you haven't been listening to a show for ever, because I'm always like that. That's me every day. When I was 21, I was like that. So my personality hasn't changed in 40 years. So you're wrong.
You did have a dip in blood sugar at one point, and you had to go get the peanut butter, the emergency peanut butter jar.
Yeah, I'm out of peanut butter. I'm out of peanut butter. That's just, we're all in quarantine. We're all losing our minds a little bit here. I think that's fair.
I got some good little news for you. Just popped up. Antibody research indicates coronavirus may be far more widespread than known. What have I been saying for the last 3 weeks, Brian? That exact thing. ABC actually released that.
Mm-hmm. That's good news?
That's some feel-good stuff. That means that mortality rate is a lot less.
I'll believe it.
Let's get into that next week.
Let's do it.
I actually have someone who wants to talk about testing.
Fantastic.
Antibody testing. So let's do that. All right, next comment. Can you bring in a color chart and put it next to Brian's face, please? The other day he was flamingo pink, and today he's raspberry red. The guy is a human mood ring.
This guy is a racist. He wants to judge people based on skin color. I think that's very inappropriate and very racist. Go ahead.
No, he's calling you like the Shang Tsung because you just morph into different shades all the time. I wouldn't mind getting a hue calculator to your left or to your right.
Stop trying to break down my jokes. I was trying to be funny. Don't take it seriously.
Hi, guys. How are you? I didn't realize that hitting 40 meant hitting a wall. Brian has really taken a beating today.
Taking a beating? What does that mean? Taking a beating from who?
Was it a compliment to me?
I think it's a comment about your looks.
Oh.
I think.
Well, nothing.
You want me to interpret these? Sometimes I don't know what people are thinking on
Let me tell you something.
Comments,
when I get up in the morning,
they're insulting you, and that's the bottom line.
When I get up in the morning,
which is the most important thing.
When I get up in the morning, the only thing that I really truly care about is how I look to middle-aged men that are watching our YouTube feed. That's really my only goal in life. I have to look handsome.
How do you know that this was a male, Brian?
I'll even go a step further. I guarantee you he's living in his mom's basement, never had a job, and has nothing better to do than comment on a middle-aged man.
And see, I take offense to that because I think that means that you believe that a woman wouldn't think that about you.
I don't think it was a woman. And if it was a woman that actually had a life, no, I don't think she would think that. Go ahead, Stein.
Hang on. I was asking Sean something. Okay, hang on.
What?
I was asking Sean something. All right, here we go.
The mumbling producer, Jason Stein, ladies and gentlemen.
Next comment. Brian looks like Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka after she turns into a blueberry. Why has he turned purple? It's actually really noticeable when you put him on a split screen next to JD and Stein.
Your wife made a part of my body turn purple the other night, sir. Go ahead, Stein. Next.
And then another viewer responded to that, saying, I noticed that as well. Brian looks like he is starting his own Purple Man group.
I guess they don't like my robe.
I like
the
that
Purple Man group.
Really good comment there.
That's great.
That was outstanding.
Well, with the bald head and the purple face, I could see that. Yeah.
I like that.
You could make a lot of money.
I'm going to wear a pink robe on
Yeah,
Monday.
there's definitely something to
when
that.
the strip reopens.
Yeah.
Next comment. I can't stand looking at Brian's face or listening to his whiny, irritating voice. Hashtag get Brian off the air.
Yet this is the same guy or girl that listens to our show every day, that comments every day. By the way, how's that hashtag working out for you, you loser?
Next comment. At first, listening to Brian on the radio turned me into an alcoholic and drug abuser, but now I'm lashing out at the people around me. Brian is damaging America.
Good. If there's any person I'd want to damage, it would be you, sir. So keep listening.
He actually systematically broke down how you are toxic to his life.
Good. I hope I'm continue to take those toxins and bring them in.
Hey, by the way, the hashtag get Brian off the air, you're doing a pretty poor job of circulating that. I haven't seen that on Twitter or any other social media sites.
Also, I would
work on that.
May I just also add, and I'm no social media guru, believe me, but maybe hashtag get Brian Shapiro off air, because there's probably other Brian talk show hosts. You might start the hashtag and get an innocent Brian fired from the airwaves.
Brian Kilmeade.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Next comment from someone who actually identifies himself as Tucker Carlson. Does anyone know a good lawyer? I'd like to sue Brian's parents for bringing him into this world.
Tucker Carlson. I'd like to sue anybody who imitates Tucker Carlson and has a fake page of Tucker Carlson on our YouTube page.
Joey Molinaro did a great impersonation of Tucker Carlson the other day. So I wonder if there's ever been a lawsuit filed under those premises before, Stein. Do you think there has?
For someone being born?
Yes.
Someone's probably tried it.
I mean, it sounds frivolous, doesn't it?
I'd like to see someone try
Yeah.
it. We'd have him on the show.
I would definitely do
If
that.
you're a lawyer who wants to sue Brian's parents for bringing him into the world, we will give you 5 to 10 minutes to state your case.
This just in, I just got an email from the real Mike Tyson. He's suing us for slander because of the fake Mike Tyson we just had on. Yeah. Anything else?
Again,
You
an
dope?
innocent mistake.
Yeah, but we plugged Fight Club. We plugged his video game. I'm not buying that, Brian. You're full of it.
Well, I know Stein is going to do some plugging tonight by himself.
I
Go
think
ahead.
we're out of time.
Oh,
here.
yeah. Oh, that's
Hang on, I got 1 minute.
Quickly,
let me find one
quickly.
really good one.
Is it true that Sean's a furry, by the way?
I don't know. No.
I guess we got a break. Okay.
We got to go. All right. So thanks for joining.